Hey guys, Jordan from Treasure Theory here, and today I wanted to talk about these massive buyouts we're seeing with these anniversary sets, these promo sets, what's really going on here, what I think is going on here, and more importantly, should you consider investing in these products as well, or should you maybe wait? We're going to be talking about a couple of interesting things in this video that you're definitely going to want to see. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also, real quick, I apologize if my voice sounds off. I was at a 3 Days Grace concert a few days ago, and it was a fantastic time. So my voice kind of suffered a little bit for that. So if that's okay with you, let's just get right into it. So just a little bit of a recap. We've been seeing huge buyouts taking place with certain One Piece products like the first anniversary set, which has obviously been the crown jewel of these recent buyouts. You can see here in the last 2 weeks alone, this has spiked up about 90%, which has been absolutely insane. And when we look at the data here for last listings sold and stuff like that, I mean, some of these are going up to $6,000, which is just insanity if you ask me. Really cool, beautiful collection, but it's really hard to believe at one point in time this collection was around $280. So we've also been seeing recent buyouts taking place with the Premium Card Collection 25th edition. Not so big of a spike here, but it's about 25% again in the last 2 weeks as well. So, we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern here. We've also seen stuff like this take place not too long ago with the second anniversary set. Not as insane, but if we look back over the last year, we can see that it did go up from 250, spiked all the way up, came a little bit down, but that was roughly about 150% increase in price, which has been absolutely insane. So before we get into my opinions about this, I just kind of want to also remind you guys about a few things. We saw this huge spike, this huge boom in the One Piece TCG back in December, and things really spiked in price. Everyone's portfolios, I imagined, doubled, tripled, quadrupled in price, and people have been quite happy. And if you've been sitting on your portfolio and you haven't really sold anything since, you're probably going to have a similar looking graph as I do here. I got my collector app open, and as you can, and I apologize how dirty it is, but when we take a look here, this is back in December. This was when the spike took place, when cards were really starting to go up in price. And as you can see since then, nothing too crazy has been going on. It's been just a steady rise, nothing too insane, but I do think we're in for either a leg up or a leg down. Now, I don't think a leg down is coming. I think we're actually probably going to see the market go up because OP17 is right around the corner, and I think that's just going to reignite a lot of interest in the One Piece TCG market. Now, I want to get the bad stuff out of the way first. What do I think is really happening here? Well, I think because things have kind of remained steady, nothing's been crazy in the last little while, I do think we are starting to see these whales, or maybe I should just call them laboons, okay? And if you don't know what a laboon is in a market, basically it's somebody who's got a ton of money and they can basically influence markets. And with the One Piece TCG market, these laboons, I personally think, are coordinating buyouts that we are currently seeing, and to be quite fair with you, it's not really hard to put two and two together. I mean, when you look at a couple of products that are within a certain category, it's not really hard to see that somebody is intentionally trying to buy up all this stuff. Now, it's so easy for people out there to be like, well, Jordan, don't you think that maybe people are just waking up and realizing that these products are worth holding on to, they're scarce and all this stuff? Well, I don't think the whole market just has this awakening at the same time, right? I mean, obviously people with big money are coordinating together, buying up these products in hopes to basically inflate the prices to obviously get profit from this and sell it to people who are looking to pay at a higher price. Obviously, this is very beneficial to anyone out there that's gotten this collection way beforehand, but I do think that's currently the case, and I do think you may be a sucker for some of these products if you pay these top prices. I mean, $6,000, $7,000 for this set. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, let's really think about it. Who just decides that these are worth this much money, right? Basically, it's supply and demand. There's not that many product on the market, and there's a lot of people interested in buying these, hence the price goes up. But this is kind of escaping velocity for a lot of regular people who can't afford this sort of stuff. So it's kind of entering like a new market where only really well-off people are going to consider buying this stuff. Otherwise, they're just going to sit on it and hold for a very long time. Now, the thing too with the One Piece market is that a lot of these cards are scarce anyways. So for anyone to call it a pump and dump, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of debatable. I mean, like, let's take a look at the second anniversary here. We can see the price did eventually hit its top and started coming down a little bit. Now, it hasn't been too much of a dramatic dump or anything like that, but I do think we're eventually going to see the ceiling for some of these products where the market's like, hey, this is too expensive and no one's going to buy anymore. I also want to remind you, like, $7,000 for this set is crazy. I mean, let's take a look at some of the cards you could get for $7,000 according to TCG Player now. Supposedly, the price range for the Gear 5 Luffy is between $5,700 and $9,000, but hey, that's still a $7,000-ish card. We're also talking about the signed Oda card here, which is a phenomenal buy. We've got these red manga drop cards that are incredibly scarce, and so much more, like the gold and silver Luffy SPs. I mean, we're on the front page of the most expensive cards in the entire One Piece TCG, and you could potentially start dabbling in that stuff before you get to, of course, the first anniversary set, which was sold at one point, and you could have bought it for cheap. Now, I suppose none of that necessarily matters because it's all about what you're after, what you're looking for. There is obviously people interested in this sort of stuff, and it is a beautiful art piece. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of regret not getting this myself. I don't know. I just personally didn't see the value in it, and now everybody does, right? I also want to remind you guys that it's very clear that while the market has been kind of not doing a whole lot lately, you know, these Laboons are sitting around a table. Not really, but, you know, I think people who are looking to put real big money into this card game are looking at certain areas in the One Piece TCG that are basically still cheap and could be turned into something crazy. Now, I want to take you back to the Gengar Nami situation. This card was from a premium card collection, by the way, but we remember way back when that we saw that whales were entering this market, or people with big money, maybe from the Pokemon space, or just people who just wanted to get in for the hell of it. And we can see that there was this huge pump and dump going on. And I just find it a little funny how this Gengar Nami, which was again part of a premium card collection, is kind of the scapegoat for the stuff that was going on behind this. But I think as time has gone on, I think the very people who have gotten into this card game, who've invested a ton of money, are now starting to wake up, play the game a little better, are starting to realize these certain areas of the market that they can basically claim and profit from. Now, the sad reality, I think, about all this is that, you know, we've got more and more collectors and investors going from, you know, is this overpriced to, am I even able to afford this anymore? And, you know, it's just unfortunate, but I guess it also kind of adds to why the One Piece TCG market right now has become such a profitable endeavor for so many people, especially for collectors who basically just bought a bunch of cards and they also went up in price because of this. Because, you know, unfortunately, as time goes on, markets will change. I mean, this could all blow up in our faces in 2 years, and they could all go back down to zero, which I don't think is going to happen. But things could also go up to the moon. I mean, we could see all of our manga cards going to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. It's just absolute insanity, to be honest. But we also have to be realistic, okay? Are these worth buying right now? I think the Premium Card Collection 25th edition still has room to grow. I do think that if you're interested in buying or being a part of this, these cards are pretty good. I think that this set is already out of reach for the majority of people. If you can get a couple of the cards for a good price, hey, be my guest. They're still cool cards, but I do think that if you're looking to buy a $6,000, $7,000 set, and expecting it to go to $10,000, $15,000, I think you need to reevaluate some things because that just doesn't make sense. The thing too is that these sets were purchasable for like a cheap price and have been inflated, yet they lack the appeal of the chase when it comes to, say, these top cards right here. Like manga cards, you can only get them from certain sets. They're incredibly rare, usually below 1%. I mean, it's absolutely insane. They're fantastic. We've got these new SPs now, and like when you see these in public, and by the way, you don't see them too often, you're struck in awe, right? As opposed to, hey, I could have bought this set and I didn't. You know? Now that's just coming from a collector's point of view. That's just my opinion. But from an investment standpoint, I do think this set has kind of escaped velocity for a lot of people. I really cannot see this set going much higher. I mean, no matter how scarce a product is, the market will tell people what it's really worth in the end, and I just don't see how this is appealing anymore wants at $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for a set. I just don't. I don't even know if we see something like that in Pokemon or anything else, which is why I think it's also kind of dangerous to get a little carried away and excited for these products when they have pumped so high. And remember, just because something is pumping right now doesn't necessarily mean that's what you should be looking at. You know, they actually say when something is pumping, you're already too late. I think as long as you stick to a strategic strategy, you buy cards that you think are in a decent price range, you are always looking for the manga cards, the SPs are always a great choice. I mean, certain products I think still have room to grow as well. And like illustration boxes, are they going to be the next crazy thing? What I find hilarious, by the way, is that these boxes, okay, have clearly been bought out by the same people. And I've actually caught them in action too at my local game stores and stuff as well, because OP13 exists in these boxes. But the funniest part about this is that I'm struggling to sell my OP13 Wave 1 box that I got over there. I'm trying to sell it for $750 Canadian. It's gone up to $800 now, and nobody wants to buy it. Nobody wants to buy it, which has been super interesting because that's roughly the price range it's in, and for some reason nobody wants to touch it because they're claiming it's too overpriced because we're getting a reprint, which is stupid because we already know the reprints coming are very minuscule. I think they're only sending 1,000 like boxes to specific Bandai stores in the summer, and by the way, they're going to be unsealing them for everyone who buys them, so sealed OP13 is still going to, you know, basically be unchanged. But the other thing too is I think these are being bought out because people are claiming, well, they're unmapped, so whatever. But obviously OP13 is the chase here. But anyways, I digress. You know, we can speculate all we want about this stuff, but I do think it's kind of crazy how much these have gone up in price, okay? Like $700. It's 4 packs, 2 promos. Like, I'm sorry, like, you could just buy a booster box and buy the 2 promos. It just feels like some of this stuff makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like, when you genuinely are in this market and you know this market well, and you're not just necessarily chasing money, you know, like, some of the areas just do not add up to me. Which is why I am trying to be the voice of reason. All I'm really trying to say in this video is just because something is going on, there's hype, there's excitement for a certain product, doesn't mean you should chase the dragon, okay? Obviously, it would have been your best bet to buy this 6 months ago, and you didn't. And it is what it is. Maybe you're sitting on fat cash. Maybe you're a laboon waiting to jump in. I mean, honestly, I would still say that you're running out of time for this product. I think it's soon going to cap, and then it's just going to stagnate because no one's going to be buying it anymore. You're going to have to look at other stuff. And who knows, perhaps people move to the illustration boxes again, or maybe they move to other products like the deck boxes and stuff like that. I mean, hell, even the gift collection. We're seeing the gift collection starting to spike as well. Take a look at that. So I think other things in this market are eventually going to pump up. But other than that, guys, just be safe with your money. I mean, try and sit on these ideas you have of buying product before you just impulsively buy it. We have to remember, you know, in a way, this is gambling. None of this is guaranteed. None of this is financial advice. If you're just looking to collect because you're a big One Piece fan, be smart about it. And if you're looking to invest, be strategic about it. Don't follow the herd and always do your research. But other than that, guys, enjoy yourselves out there. Totally cool if you have a different opinion about this stuff. But I just thought I would offer my insight about this as well. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. A video should pop on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.